Hi everyone, I'd like to welcome you to the Meet or Member Experience Alumni Tool Training. During this training, I'm going to be showing you how to utilize both the front and back end of this tool. And what you're currently looking at is the front end, which is what our alumni are going to be seeing during their entire experience with this tool. And currently we are housing the front end website at conservationlegacy.site.ym.com. Eventually, it's going to actually be housed at www.legacyalums.org. But as of right now, this is what alumni are going to be seeing. So when they first land on this page, you can see at the top they have the option for Contact Us, which is going to give just a generalized contact information. They have the option to sign in, to register. They also have the option to search the site for any of the pages. We have our social media linked here, so these are going to take them to the actual Conservation Legacy Facebook and Instagram. They have the navigation bar with these options. We have a picture slideshow. We have our logos, which are actually currently linked to our program sites. So if a member is to click, say they were an AZCC alumni, they can click on this. It's going to take them to the AZCC site. We have a little blurb about who we are and what this page is all about. There's a nice sign-in section right here, and I haven't registered yet. Little link if they would like to register. Down at the bottom, we have a donate button. So if anyone comes to the site and they're looking to donate, they can go ahead and click that. That's currently going to our PayPal system. We have a latest news update section and a community-wide calendar section. And all the way at the bottom, we have more of our contact information, our mission, and those social media logs again. So, say we want an alum to come and register with us. So we would give them the www.legacyalums.org link. They would land here and they can click on register, or they can click on the haven't registered yet. Either way, the first page that they're going to get after they click one of those is this one. So here are the instructions for this. They would enter a username, their first and last name, a validation code to ensure that they aren't a robot. It's always going to be a very simple math problem. They hit continue, and the next page that they would land on is step number 2. So fill out the following information in order to become a member. So their username that they chose before is going to be showing up here. They will pick a password and confirm that password. They're going to pick their email address. In order to make one of these profiles, they need to have a working email address. We have our other questions. And then we have our specific questions. So we wanted to know highest level of education. They can pick one of those. Family status. So right in here you will see these things. The members will see these things. That's letting them know that it's not going to be visible to other people. So if you do get a member who doesn't want something to be visible to somebody else, they have the option to turn it to private. So it will not be visible in their profile if they want that option. They are going to specify what program they're a part of. If there is somebody who has done 2 terms with us and they were in 2 different programs, they can select that they have done both of those that way. They're going to specify what they were doing with our program, so whether they were in a high school camping crew, they were a visitor, and an intern. They can click 2 of these if they would like. So if they did double terms and they did something different for both terms, they have that option. We're asking what year they were doing these terms during, or doing these terms, excuse me. We also want to know if they have done more than one with us. So that's where we're going to specify that. And then we would also like to know if they would like to be an ambassador for our program. And one of our biggest things for using this tool is that we would like to know where they are right now in their life. So they're going to give us their title and where they're working, as well as kind of what type of profession it is. And then also not visible in the profile, just so we know how well our alumni are doing, we would like to know how much they're annually making. So we are going to want this member to log to this. And they will see the member experience eval. And all it is some questions about their term and how they liked it and how they've grown. And they will hit submit, and on the back end we will see that pop up. So once they are registered and they have taken the eval, when they log in, they're going to be landing on this page. So as you can see, they have the option to do profile pages. This person currently wouldn't have any profile pages, but if they did, they can make some here. They also, if they've favorited anything, it would show up here. If they have blogs, it would show up here, their photo gallery, and any files and links that they have. So this is kind of going to show up like any of the social media feeds. So they could write, "Hi, I am new here." And right in here, you would see that show up. On the right, they have also their profile home, manage profile. So they could edit their bio, edit their preferences. If they've donated anything, they could do invoices for that. Anything they favorited, networks, pages, files and links, professional development, photo gallery, blogs, any groups that they've belonged to, their resume and their CV, if they have those filed, they could put those on here. Career postings that they've made or that they've applied to. They also have the options over here, so they could create a resume and a CV if they would like to house one here. And this will create a nice little CV for them. They could click on My Groups, and they would see all of our programs show up. Files and links. So they could add any files or links that they would like to house on here. So say they find a really important link, or they think it's a link that's going to be useful to them in the future. They could go ahead and link it. And then anytime they need to find that link again, it's going to be housed here. They have the messaging options. So if they've been talking to anybody on this site, this is where it would show up. And then they have connections and refer a friend. So the next thing I would like to show you guys is kind of how somebody would navigate through here. So when they're signed in, instead of seeing sign in over here, they're going to see the My Profile. Everything else pretty much looks the same. So as I said before, they have the reconnect job board or resources option. So an office one as well. So if I was an alumni, if I was on here and I was looking to reconnect and start talking to and communicating with other people that have gone through the same program, I'm going to come to this drop-down menu and say I was part of SCC, I would click on them. And this is what they're going to see at first. Since they are not a part of the group, they don't have the option to post on this page. But if they would like to join the group, all they have to do is click Join Group. It's going to ask them if that's okay. And now they are a part of this group. So now they can post and talk on this wall, and they can add anything to this page. Just about anything. So your options on this page are housed here as well as here. So you have a group directory. So say I wanted to come on here and find somebody that I served with. This is how I would do that. They have a cool little map function. And this is where all the records would show up. So if they were looking for somebody, they would start a new search. They could add criteria. They could do it by group. They could do it by country. Or they could go into advanced search. So they want to find somebody they were in the field with. They might know that they have been registered on this site. Click continue. They could search by their name, by who they think they're working with, where their postal code is. They click search. And this is where everything would show up. So 1,000+ records found. The other things that they can do in here, there's a calendar for this group. So say we start hosting events, we can put calendars on here and they can come in and see what's going on. There's nothing currently on here. Our other options, we could start blogs and forums. So if we wanted to have something like success stories, they could house them there. It's just like any other blog you've seen online. You just come in here. You can see any of those blogs. We also have a photo gallery. So you can drag and drop or upload any pictures that you want. We can also use meta tags. So eventually, if we get to the point where we have a lot of pictures, we can search by tags. So this is really what the group page is all about from one of the members' points of view. So in order to edit these pages as staff, you are going to be created as admins for this group. So you can see a difference between somebody who is logged in and not an admin. In an admin, you have extra buttons right here. So you have group pages that you can make. So these are just pages that we can make and make them look exactly how we want them to. Group admin options. So you can click on here and see all the different options that you have. So homepage options, group homepage options, add a new date, add a new event. You can manage photos, start new blogs, forum management, member management. This is how you talk to the groups and any available reporting that we have. You can also change the homepage layout. So you can either do right column or left column. Change anything on the header zone and move things like this all to different places. So if you are an admin for this page and you want something to look different, you have the option to come in here and drag and drop things into different places. And you click save, and things have been switched around. So that is basically the gist of group pages and being an admin on those group pages. Next thing I want to show you is the job board. So Say I'm an alumni and I'm on here and I'm looking for a job. I would click on the job board, and the first thing that is going to pop up is the specific job openings that we put on to this page. So I've put a few in here just for a test, just to show you guys what it looks like. So as I said, I'm an alumni and I come on here and I want to search for a job. I can search by keywords, location, organization. We have categories in here, a type of position, so full-time, part-time, any education requirements, as well as experience requirements. So I fill any of those out and I hit search, and you're going to get the openings that we have in here. So right now I just have a few in here, and if you click on one, you can see all the specifics that I've put in here, and I will show you how to put one in here, but just so you know what that looks like at the end. And down here we have the how to apply, and we also have I can search for those this way. Say I'm on here and I want to submit an opening. This is what that form looks like. You also have basically a way to copy and paste off of Word. So the one that I showed you before, I copy and pasted off of one of our PDFs. You have to fill out contact information, so I would actually put in here whoever is hiring for that position's contact information. One of those validation codes again, and you'll hit submit. And then an admin will get a alert through their email saying that somebody has submitted an opening, and they will have to review that opening and make sure everything looks correct and that it's not any kind of spam, and then they will approve that opening and it will show to all members on the front side. You also have the option to subscribe, so you'll receive an email alert when new openings are posted in any of the categories. The other thing we have on this job board are employers of national service and environmental careers. So these are resources that I took from AmeriCorps, and these two things are what we call custom pages. So I'll show you how to create those when we move to the back end, but just so you know what they kind of look like, right now I have the option in those custom pages to redirect. So it's just redirecting to employers of national service that AmeriCorps has found. And they'll be able to come in here and use this database as well. So our next option that we have for alumni and our next menu navigation bar is resources. So we seem to get a lot of questions about the education award. So we have options on here. An alumni of one of the other AmeriCorps sites actually shared with us that he used his education award for a design and build school. So information for that is on here. We also have matching institutions. This is just one of those links to an outside source, an AmeriCorps site that shows all the institutions that match education awards. And then we also have information on non-traditional ways of using that ed award. So these again are what's called custom pages. When we get to the back end, I'll show you how to make those. I also have a resource up here on using the hiring authority. This is just a PowerPoint that I've linked to in here. And then we also have resume and cover letter help. So those are the thing I want to show you guys is actually the administrative back end of this tool. So I have the link to that side of the tool on the technology page on SharePoint, but as soon as I make you as an admin on this site, you will get an email and it will give you your username as well as a link to the admin side of things that you can bookmark for your own uses. So I have that bookmarked on here. So this is your landing page. So all you have to do is put in your username and your password. And this is going to be what shows up. So the dashboard is kind of just the gist of what's going on the site. So I have members to approve, so they're members that have been registered, but I haven't approved on the back end. You have a calendar of events. And then we have just kind of your statistics as well as any revenue. We are not going to have to worry about the revenue right now because we are not taking donations on the site yet, but eventually the finance department might be populating this. So how you navigate around back here is this menu bar. So as you can see up here, we have the content and settings, directory and CRM, exports and reporting, features, e-commerce, quick create, and search. As well as up top here, you'll see welcome. You're signed in as whatever your name is. And your options up here is if you want to view the front end as a member, it will simply show you what that looks like as a signed in member. So if you are on the front end signed in as a member, you have the option to navigate around down here. So I could sign out, I could go to the admin dashboard, return to my previous admin page, site resource manager, or edit mode. So I'm going to return to my previous admin page and I'm back. So your other options are to edit your profile, view your activity log, any upcoming reminders, and sign out. You also have a support option. So this is going to dynamically change depending on what page you're on, but your options are you can search. So say I want to know how to add a member. You'll see forums kind of pop up down here. You could also just click on support home and this will take you to your membership, the people that are hosting this site's support page, and you can search anything in here that you need to search. You can also view any video trainings on specific things. So the other things I think that are going to be very helpful on here is this quick create and search. Quick create gives you all of these options to quickly do something. And search is a very easy way to search for any of the members. So say I wanted to search for myself on here as an alumni, and I just know my first name, you'll see all of these things pop up. And that's the quickest way to look for a member. But I will take you one by one through these menus. So the content and settings is just how it sounds. It is the place where you're going to edit all of the content on the front end of the page and change any settings on the front end of the page. And the first thing you land on up here are those custom pages that I showed you before. So these are custom pages. This is what they look like on the back end of the site. So these are all of the custom pages that I have created on here. And as anything on this whole back end, you have an edit option, which is always this pencil. You can view the custom page or you can copy and duplicate the custom page for any reason that you would want to do that. So I'm on here and I want to share a resource with all alumni about the Education Award. I would come on here and create a custom page. So internal categories is just a way for us on the back end to kind of understand what those pages are about. So right now I only have member resources up here, so I'll just put it in the member resources. Your page ID is how we know what the page is about on the back end. So if I go back here, this is the page ID. The page title is what everyone is going to see on the front end. The permalink is actually affected by this page ID. So say I had information on how to access Ed Award. That goes into that permalink. So you also have the option to make this page open for members to collaborate on. So if you do click enable, any of the members viewing the page will be able to edit it. You have privacy, so you can toggle it to public, so everyone that visits that page will be able to see it. You can make it private, so only people who are signed in can see it. And we can also break that out by their member type. So say we only want members to be able to see that, and that's what we would click. You can redirect. So the page that I have on here about employers of national service is a redirect. So all you would have to do is redirect to URL below, put in the URL, and it'll go right to that URL. Searchable is if it's searchable on the front end. So searchable through here. You can make that an option or not. You can relate this to any of the other custom pages. So, you know, since this is just like one of the other educational word pages, I could make it like that, or I could relate it to that. If you want to put an RSS feed in there, you have that option. You can attach a custom form. You can also put a review by date on here. So say you want to make sure that you keep this page updated for some reason. You know, it's dynamic information. It's always changing. You could put a reminder on here for that. And down here is where you're going to actually create the page itself if it's not a redirect. So any of the information you type in here will show up on that front page. Like I said, you can copy and paste from Word. You can put hyperlinks in here. Any of that kind of stuff is available in here. If you're good at HTML, you can also do it that way. And then when you go to save, you can save and continue editing it. So say it's something you're putting a lot of work into. You always have the option, like you are in Word, to continuously save that so you don't lose your information for whatever reason. Or you can just save. So you always kind of have to put one of these version labels on here. You have a content update, configuration change, or spelling and grammar correction. This is just so that we understand on the back end as other admins kind of why you were on that page to begin with. It's just a little note saying like, hey, I was on here to add some information. So all you would do is content update and say like, I added more information to this section. Then you would hit save, and it would show up on that page. So just so you kind of understand what that looks like, so you can see down here, as an admin at this time, I had a content update. We also have the option, if we get too many, that we can search by page ID in here. And the review by date will show up over here. So the other thing on here that you can see is the resource manager. So the resource manager is a place for us on the administrative backend to house information. So when on the front end on that custom page, you saw that I had a PowerPoint linked. This is how I did that. All I did was drag and drop, upload it, showed up in here, and then I was able to put this onto my custom page. And now when an alumni goes on there, they can click this, it will download for them, and they can go through and see that full thing. Menu management, so say I made one of those custom pages and I want to add it to the front end. This is what I would click on. So as you can see right here, it says custom pages. So I want to add my checklist to the front end for everybody. It's going to reload, and right here you're going to see the link text. So this is the text that's going to show up on the front end. You'll see a URL is created for you. You have the option to show only to people who aren't signed in, to show to people who only are signed in, or to show to both. You have the option to open it in a new window, which is what I would always choose. And then down here, you're going to see the layout of the front end. So you see the menu buttons you can see right away. So home, reconnect, job board, and resources. These are the sub-menu items. And then this is a sub of a sub-menu item. So I want to add that checklist to the resources menu. So I'm going to click on resources, and I'm going to add a new sub-menu item. So on here you'll see that that has showed up down here. You kind of also can see it with color down here. and right here it showed up as checklist. So if you navigate to the front end, you can see over here that my checklist has shown up as a submenu item. So say I put it in there and I don't want it in there anymore. So I'm going to click on that page and you have the option to delete it. You have the option to edit it. So you can edit, you know, the title or what the permalink says or who you want to show it to. You can also move it. So say I want it to be up further or down further. You'll see it shows up down there. Or I just want to delete it. And it's going to ask you if that's okay. Click OK and it's gone. Next thing I want to show you is the directory and CRM option or menu button. So this is where you're going to come if you're specifically searching for a menu and you need more information to search by than this quick search option gives you. So you're going to come on here and your options to search by are any of their contact and basic information, member types, so whether they were in the field, you're looking for somebody, one of the staff members in the office, or you're looking for a board member. You also have the option to search by their groups that they're a part of. So I'm on here and I'm looking for somebody that's an SCC, I can click that, or I'm looking for somebody and I think they might be in one of these, I can add those. Profile activity, so I'm looking for somebody that's recently updated their profile. Advanced address, so I don't know why, but say you know their congressional rep, you can search that way. Or you can search by our custom fields. So these are ones that we have put in that the system didn't automatically have in here. So you have all of these options. But right now I'm just looking for somebody that was in SCC, or I need to see everyone that was in SCC and that has been put into that group or has put themselves into that group. So I've completed this directory search and these are all of the results that were fetched for me. So you have all these options for what you would like to do with all of these members. If you kind of just happen to be down here and you see somebody that you don't want in the search result, you can go ahead and click the X and it will remove that record. You have the option to message them. So this message stays within the service. So a from and a to. Right now it's going to all of these people. You can go ahead and write whatever you need to write and you hit send now and it will send that message to those people. You can bulk email. So there are templates on here already put out and ready for you to use. You just go ahead and enter whatever information you would like to and you can go ahead and bulk email all of them. Modify group membership. So say for some reason they haven't added themselves to groups and you know what group they're supposed to be part of, you can go ahead and do that. You can also remove people from groups. You can also modify member preferences for whatever reason. So say you want them to email you when someone applies for the opening that you've posted. You can go ahead and have that option on there. You can also export all of these records to Excel. These are all the different ways you can do that. You also have the option to save this query. So say you find yourself always searching for these members, you can go ahead and save that query so you don't have to enter this information all over again. This is also dynamic. So say you've saved this query and then you added a bunch of members to this same section, that will update on there for you. So the other section in directory and CRM that you might be navigating in and out of is the member management. So say you're in here and you need to approve some of these members that have registered, you can come in here and do it that way. You can add a member, add a non-member. You can see who are group admins for the groups. So right now you can see that I am an admin for most of these groups. email newslettering, create a bulk email. So it's going to take you back to the directory in CRM, and you're going to pick who you want to email. Say I just want to email everyone. Right here you'll see in highlighted bulk email all of these people. Messaging center. Again, you're just going to pick who you want to message, and then that will be highlighted. So that's really all that we're going to need in the directory and CRM menu. The next one I want to show you is features. So you'll see right here kind of all of the things you can do with this menu option. So you'll see this is where community-wide events are held. If you would like to add a new event, all you have to do is click Add a New Event, fill out these things, save and publish, and that event will show up on the community-wide calendar. You'll also see that there are blogs in here. You can add a new blog, add a new group blog, or add a new community-wide blog. You'll see a little section about the Career Center on here. So right now there are 3 openings. This will show up if somebody has submitted an opening that needs approval. You can go ahead and add a new opening as well. Forums are on here. Group management is also housed on here. So you can add a new group or add a new group type right in here if you need to. Group types, just so you know what that looks like. Field and office. So field are really the only ones you're going to have to worry about. So you want to see the groups that are in field. These are all of our programs. You get a quick snapshot about members, how many are in there, how many blog posts, forums, how many photos are on the pages, and there shouldn't be any non-members in there. So your options over here are you can view the home page for it, you can edit this group, you can change the layout, you can view any of the blogs, you can also export any of the blogs, just as a quick little aside in here. But say you want to edit this group for whatever reason, you can change the name of it, you can change who sees it. Right now everyone that goes to that page can see, they just cannot interact. You can leave auto-approve photos on there if you would like, or you can change it if people are putting photos and you think that they're not the photos you want. You can change it so that group admins have to approve those photos. You can change the messaging and newsletter options. You can also, instead of having that as your landing page, create a different custom page and they can land on that page. And here's also where you're going to change any of those home page landing options. So say you want it to say something else when they land on that page, you can go ahead and do it that way. So as you can see over here that we've moved into the website and social part of this left-hand navigation tool, and we're in group management. Here's where you're also going to do any of your survey and quiz changing. So that member experience survey is housed in this section. So say I need to add a new survey for my members. I just go ahead and click add a new survey. The ID, the title is whatever you would like it to say. Active and inactive is just how it shows up to members. So you want to always keep it active so that they can see that. For whatever reason, if you want this survey to still be up here but you don't want members to be taking it, all you have to do is move it into the inactive section. You can also put on an end date. So say you only want people to take the survey for so long, you can go ahead and put an end date in there. If you want to be notified, or you have people specifically who want to be notified when the survey has had somebody take it, go ahead and enter email addresses in there. You can leave it as public so that everyone can take it, or you can make it private so that only certain people on the system can take it. You can restrict it to specific groups. So say you want this only to be for AZCC alumni, you can make that option. Submission information, I would always leave it as required, so they have to enter their contact information unless it's just like a fun survey, and then you can make it optional. This is how many times they can submit things. So if you don't want multiple submissions, you can leave it there, or you say you want people to vote multiple times, they have that option as well. And then you have whether or not you want it to have multiple pages, so whether each question has its own page or whether all the questions are on the same page. This is your introductory text, so put in there just welcome to the survey. You have the option to show participants' results if you would like to, or you have the option to keep it only on the back end. So I'm going to go on here. And I will show you what it looks like. So it's going to bring you right into creating a new question for this survey. So you'll see right here the title of my survey. What you want to do on this label on the back end is, so if it's a multiple question quiz or survey, you can navigate through your questions quick enough and you can see them in a list. So this is, you know, label on the back end. I want it to say color because I'm going to ask them what their favorite color is. And you have the option to either have them only choose one, they can choose multiple, or you can leave it as a fill in the blank. I only want them to be able to answer this with one. I don't want them to be able to skip a question, so I leave it as no. And I put in here, what is your favorite color? I'm going to go down here, and here's where I'm going to enter my answer options. So blue or green. You have all the way down to J. Over here you can also change the position. So say I don't want my last question to be last anymore, I can put that as 1 and it's going to pop it up here. You can also give these questions point values. So if we're ever quizzing people on anything, you have that option. So I go ahead and click Save, and there is my question. So over here you'll see again you have the option to edit it, to copy it, or to see the question stats, and then you have the option to add a new question. You can also update the order, and you can do that over here as well in this box. Change the number and it'll update the order for you. So your other way to navigate to those survey and quizzes you'll see over here. And when you're in here, you'll see all of the surveys and quizzes that are already on here that people have already put in. You'll see up here you can survey, benchmark survey, or quiz. You have the option to edit them or view questions, view the stats, view individuals' results. You can export these into Excel spreadsheets. You can copy it. So you have a lot of different options in here. The only other menu tab up here is the e-commerce tab, which, just so you guys know what it looks like, it's where the donations will be housed. As of right now, we're not taking any donations, so you don't really have to worry about it, but just so you know kind of what's going on over there. E-commerce was the last menu tab. The last thing I will make sure that you guys know is that if you have any questions or need one-on-one trainings, please feel free to reach out to me. You also have the option, again, to use the YM-specific support. So you can go to the support home and type in any questions into their search bar and search any of the videos if you're more of a visual learner. You also have the option to click on right here. It shows a little video training. And right here you'll see the YM specific training that they house, and they go more in depth into a lot of these things as well. So that is the end of my training, and like I said, please feel free to reach out if you have any other questions. Thanks.